Hello everyone, this is HCSK here, back with some more StarCraft 2 action. This one is going to be for my second channel, as you probably know because you're watching it here on the second channel, but it is a 4 versus 4 ladder game, and I was actually playing this game with my good friend KurtHugoSchneider, also known as the guy who basically makes all the Nerd Alert songs, and he came over to help write the next Nerd Alert song, and we decided to play some StarCraft because that's kind of what we do. So our team is going to be Fuckraft up here. And we also have Huskies, who of course is going to be me, the terrible Protoss. And on the other right side of the map is going to be Cases, our allied Yellow Zerg. And we're also going to have Kurt HS. No, it's not Kurt High School, which would be an awesome high school to go to. It is KurtHugoSchneider himself. And let's go ahead and introduce our opponents. It is going to be Creamies, Rich, Klim, not quite sure what that is, and Jukrin as our opponent. So it is going to be a Zerg Terran Protoss versus a Zerg Terran Protoss. So yeah, we haven't played in a very long time. Kurt especially. Alright, so Kurt is a gamer. He also, as you guys know, produces music and music videos and directs like all of his own videos. He edits his own videos. He's basically like Hollywood all wrapped up into one person, so he doesn't have a whole lot of time to play video games, but the last time he played StarCraft was 31 weeks ago, and we're like, you know what, let's go tear up the 4v4 ladder. So Kurt at this point is probably playing at bronze level, let's be honest, but we love him anyways, and it's going to make the game a whole lot more fun. And actually, Kurt improved very quickly at the game, and I want to explain how we were doing that. Number one, I was letting him get crushed on the unranked Heart of the Swarm ladder a little bit, which you can just join in. If you lose, you just leave and join another game. You never lose your precious ladder points. There's no demotion or promotions on the unpracticed or on the unranked ladder, but also playing team games, and he would actually give me control of his Marines and Marauders. Now what that means is that he can focus on doing a lot of macro, which is kind of like 80% of StarCraft anyway, is just learning how to macro. So a lot of times you will see me control his units. I'm not sure if we did it in this game or not. That's just kind of a helpful tip for anyone out there trying to get better at the game. If you have a friend who you trust with your units, just focus on the macro. And even if you're playing a team game and you aren't playing with anyone you trust, then just focus on your macro for the most part anyways. Just make a big ball of units and then use them when you think the time is right, as opposed to trying to do cannon rushes, proxy barracks, drops, things like that. Those aren't going to really help you in the grand scheme of things. Sure, you can practice those if you get much better at the game, but you're going to want to... Oh my gosh, how many command centers are you making, buddy? Double command centers from Fuckraft, and hopefully... No, he's not even walling in. It's all up to me at this point. So we do have the expansions going to be going down for Fuckraft. But anyways, that is a good way. That's actually how I learned to play StarCraft 1 back in the day, is I would play team games. And yes, I wasn't the best ally because I wasn't multi-prong attacking. I wasn't doing all this crazy stuff. But what I was doing was learning how to build my base, how to organize my base, when to build supply depots, when to build pylons and workers and all that. And then focusing on getting up a big army as quickly as I can. And then once I got good at that, it was actually helping my teammates more than hurting, because I actually knew what the hell I was doing. I didn't rush every single game, and I actually practiced the early, mid, and late games, and that's how I eventually got to where I'm at in StarCraft 2, which, you know, I'm only like Diamond League in StarCraft 2, and I'm Masters in team games, which I know is like so cool, only not. But anyways, that is how I got to the level that I'm at. And if you want to improve past Diamond and Masters, and that's when you really have to focus on specific builds and timings and all that. But for the most part, to get higher ranks, you just got to focus on the macros. That was a bit of a tirade, a little bit of a tangent, I guess is the correct word there. But we do have Klim, got to be going for some DTs. Look at him hiding it in his base like he's a winner. So he's going to be going for the DT rush, which I got to say, DT rushes in team games is so fun. He's also got a robotics somewhere. Where is that? It's right there. So he's going to be working on getting out a DT drop. So good on him, I suppose. One thing that's also kind of fun to do as well, which you can really only do this effectively in mono battles if you're Archons, is drop DTs in the mineral line, morph an Archon in the mineral line, and then kill off all the workers. That's my favorite mono battle strategy, where you're not doing an Archon drop, you're doing a morph an Archon in their mineral line drop, which is a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work out in team games because your DTs can attack in team games, whereas in mono battles they cannot if you chose Archons. We do have the War Prism on the way, so he's actually going to be going for some first blood right now, as I think we've only killed off, yeah, a couple units here, a couple probes here and there, and we do see our team going to be moving out with a lot of Zerglings here, trying to figure out exactly what to do with these, trying to deny the bases, but there's no base there. Goes down here, sees one queen, and Rich, unfortunately, got to be losing a queen here, as well as some of his workers. It does look like the drone's trying to get away. Good control there to make sure not all the drones can escape, and it does look like there's enough units here to hang on to this expansion. He's not going to lose the expansion itself. Now, Kurt got to be expanding right there on the low ground. We also have Cases, got his own base going up, and I am working on getting out the good old Blink Stalker. Now, Blink Stalkers are very fun in the mid-game and team games. However, you have to realize that there are a lot of weaknesses to getting Mass Blink Stalker in team games. I'm going to list some of those weaknesses right now. Fungal Growth will end your day immediately. Marines and Marauders will end your day immediately. I just realized there's some weird freaking thing down there. You see that thing? That thing is creepy. Whatever that skeleton is, I don't want to know. But anyways, there is a lot of unit competitions, especially in team games, where Mass Blink Stalker is not going to win. You got to remember, this is not a PvP. You can't just go Mass Blink Stalker for the whole game and win. So you have to be very agile with them. You have to counterattack. You have to try and blink in the main, or go for some Marine kills here. Blinking forward there, going to get some free kills, raking those bad boys in. Here comes the Warp Prism with 3 DTs and a Zealot inside. He couldn't get the 4th DT because of the cost of the robotics, and is most likely, I would assume, going to be unloading these right on top of the SCVs, and he is. There he goes. Got to be killing off a lot of workers right now. We do have a lot of Lings going to be running in here trying to take on the hatchery as well. No one has any upgrades, though, but it does look like a ridiculous amount of SCVs actually get taken out. The DTs going to town, even with the scan. There's enough of them there to kill off some of the Stalkers. Not sure if that ended up being worth it or not. Somehow, the Yellow Zerglings are going to get away. The Marines able to get a couple of shots off, but both teams losing quite a bit here in these early harassments. And we do see the Warp Prism going to be moving out right now. My Stalker's trying to take it down, but no! Doesn't quite happen there, as that Warp Prism is going to remain, which is a big frustration for me, because now I have to put up some sort of cannons in my main base, which you can see I do have the Forge on the way right now. What are you doing down here, Kurt? Let's keep an eye on him. He's got a lot of Marines and Marauders, and actually, like I was saying, I told him to focus on his macro, and he's able to keep his resources relatively low. Yes, his gas is a little bit high, but he improved very, very quickly just with a little bit of coaching. So definitely keep that in mind, guys. More DTs over here, trying to clean out some workers, and how many kills is he up to? Is up to 5 kills. The majority of those are going to be Zerglings, though, which are basically free units at this stage of the game. And we do have some Overlords kind of strewn about the map to spot these areas. And actually, Cases pretty smart with his unit positioning here. Does have a lot of money he's got to spend, though. I don't know if you guys see that, but almost 3,000, 4,000 resources in the bank, including the Vespine gas. Zerglings up here going to be going for craft, and oh no! All those SCVs completely vulnerable. That's no bueno. And my Stalkers, I assume, are going to try and go over there to help out. The SCVs do manage to escape there, sort of. I do have my Stalkers here. Should be able to hang on long enough to go ahead and deal with that. And I saw he was trying to run away, so I went ahead and blinked forward. You have to be careful, of course, with those blinks forward. And do we have any other drops or anything going on? It is going to be happening down here. DTs, once again, got to be harassing. Poor Kurt, man. All he wants to do is make some music, but unfortunately, the DT is able to force those away, and it does look like these armies trying to get back inside as that depot man never getting lowered, as these Zerglings are going to be chasing down the DTs, but there is quite a few DTs on the field. I think maybe I should go ahead and switch it up like this so you can see the colors a little bit better. DT is going to go ahead and go down there. Warp Prism still remains, and finally, no! There is actually DT still up here cleaning out these drones, so lots of harassment going on with those DTs. They will eventually get cleaned up, but even with Zerglings, it takes a while to kill them off. And a bunch of Stalkers and Zerglings coming up here, so they've been doing crazy economic damage to us. Poor Kurt is not catching a break whatsoever. I do have quite a few Blink Stalkers, but at the end of the day, I've got to be careful because they just have way too much stuff here. And this is actually quite a large army. We also have a battle taking place over here, Marine and Marauder versus Marines and Siege Tanks. I do go ahead and blink forward here with my Stalkers, though, to go ahead and clean this up, as Kurt got the good old flank attack there, able to trap those even though they may have had blink. It don't matter because we're able to kill those off. Now, where is Kurt's? Is this one? What's Kurt? What's Kurt right here? Nope, this one. So Kurt is down to 6 SCVs, the poor fellow, and definitely taking the blunt force of that harassment. Another Warp Prism going to be harassing. I gotta say, this is actually really smart on this map to warp in units right here. This is brilliant. More Zealots on the way. Even if you're just warping in Zealots, that's fine. And there is going to be a counterattack down here. So we've taken a lot of economic damage here from this harassment. You can see running right up here, it does look like the Queen will die almost immediately, which means those drones are going to be vulnerable here. At the same time, there's going to be a Zergling counterattack on the left side, Marines and Stalkers, as I do go ahead and blink away. But these guys is going completely unchecked, which is going to be ridiculous economic damage here. So the players on the right side actually getting taken out by this harassment, and Kurt is like, you know what, Husky, I haven't played for 31 months, so you know what, you can't be smack talking me. It looks like for Kraft's got to be careful as well. getting a couple of siege tank shots to the face. Gotta be going for the spawning pool here. I don't know if there's anything to actually defend the main base, as looking at this expansion, there is nothing. So down goes the spawning pool. No more lings for our team. And this army right here, it looks like Jukren getting way out of position there, having to stem to retreat. Might lose a couple of his medevacs though, and he does, which it does look at the siege tanks in position here to go ahead and do ridiculous damage. He's gonna try and break through. 3 tanks up here are all that remain, and the medevac's kind of awkward, not gonna be able to really do anything at this point. The War Prism finally retreating on back, and there's the scan to clean out that DT. But it does look like we are just losing battle after battle after battle. You can take a look at our resources lost here. 2 of our players have just been crushed, where it has been more evenly distributed against the other team. But our little base up here is doing pretty good, as I have not lost the majority of my units. I don't even know where my units are, because this color coordinating is kind of confusing me here. And there we go. I am going to be warping in a bunch of Zealots, some High Templar now, as Blinkstalker is not going to be carrying the torch much longer. Hopefully for my sake, I actually have upgrades on the way for once. And nope, no I don't, so no upgrades for me. But I do have my nice little ball of units over here, adding on more gateways because I'm working on a 3rd base right now. And the War Prism, yeah, still hanging out there with the Overlords. They can't really do anything to each other. A bunch of Stalkers for Creamy's got to be coming up here. It looks like he's going to go ahead and blink away, though. He would be able to engage that if there were either no siege tanks or no medevacs. But unfortunately, there are both. Here comes some Marines right now. 1 attack, 0 armor for both these groups. He has to blink forward, though. Not sure that's a good idea, because these ones actually got loaded up inside the medevac. Oh, I hate when that happens. He's unloading them on top of these units. So unfortunately, that was the elevator of death. But guess what? Mutalisks of death over here are going to be harassing right now. And looks like they might get that orbital if Kurt is not careful. This is a lot of mutas going to be swooping on in here. And this main base is completely undefended. The Queen's like, don't worry, guys, I got this. Ugh. That is obviously not going to end very well for that Queen. Does get taken out. Looks like the Hive Tech might actually get taken out here. So that's going to be a devastating loss for him. He's going to be down to, I believe, just this 1 expansion right now. A couple lings down here for our team going to be locking that down. Now, one thing that is in our favor is that we have taken more bases, albeit barely. It's just I don't know how long that's actually going to last us with this kind of harassment happening. And it looks like I'm actually getting War Prism harassed over here as well. So they're all over the place. Thankfully for me, I do have lots of cannons. My poor High Templar are trying to get away, but High Templar versus Dark Templar, that's a pretty one-sided battle. And it does look like the cannons will be able to save me here for now, but the Mutalisks now coming up here. So I'm going to try and get my units back here in time, but I don't even know if this is enough cannons to hang on here, as the Mutalisks do have the +2/+2, so these cannons do not stand a chance. And my army still with 0 upgrades. That's fine. That's fine, because we're working towards High Templar, so it's all good. Everyone stay calm. And it does look like these units are going to get taken out. The War Prism has once again retreated here. It's actually trying to find a good angle to go ahead and drop. So I got to hand to Kalim, or Klim, for doing lots of harassment, because it is definitely set us behind. This base has been completely destroyed. And it does look like, though, Fakraft's macro finally going to be kicking in here. He's using a lot of those resources on Marines. And unfortunately for Kurt, he doesn't have a whole lot to hold this off. His supply depot is in the way still. And got to try and push this out. Does manage to get in position to use those units he has. And the Mutalisks here could kill off an Overlord if they wanted to. I think it's going to go ahead and retreat on through. But I'm finally ready. I am pissed. I have lots of Zealots. I don't have Zealot legs, but I do have lots of High Templar. Oh my god. That is so many High Templar. We have an attack over here trying to take out the Nexus. A big warp in of Zealots, so should be able to clean that up easily. His upgrades at 1 attack. And here we go, baby. Did someone call an exterminator? Because it's time for storms. And oh god. Oh, that feels so good. That feels so good. That's going to finally turn it back into our favor as we're able to crush through this location. But you got to remember, we did take so much harassment here that, you know, some High Templars are exactly what we needed. It's what the doctor ordered, and we are going to be dropping up here, or at least running all of our units up here. There's the big stem to go ahead and start working down that infrastructure. I do know that the Mutalisk count is so freaking high, and they have good upgrades. We're going to try and just storm these, knowing that storming my own units is better than letting these Mutalisks live. And there we go. Oh, God, that feels so good. Jukren got to go ahead and GG out of the game right away after that one. I probably would as well. But they were able to do a lot of harassment on us, but unfortunately they only killed the 2 people. They didn't kill all 4. So able to come down here with a lot of High Templar, able to storm the hell out of that. Looks like they actually cleaned out their main base, so good on them for doing that. And the Marines there are finally going to be protecting the Stalkers from those Immortals. And here we go. War Prism finally gets taken out. Oh, this is the same War Prism over here. He's probably the MVP of this game. But I'm serious, guys. Team games are so fun. If you're not playing team games, you are doing StarCraft wrong. So definitely go play some team games. If you haven't, they're super, super fun. And, you know, with Heart of the Storm coming out soon, you might as well go ahead and start practicing up a little bit. As we have the Marines going to be cleaning out this base right here. I don't really think they have a whole lot left at this point, but I do have the good old Archons. And really, I just want to return the favor by killing off 2 of their players. And it looks like Kurt going to be moving out with his units, so he's finally able to leave his base. And he was checking out the upgrades there, I feel like, as Kurt finally able to crush on through this. And can actually go, I believe, directly for the main base here. The cannons, though, are still active because they haven't all left the game just yet. And there's Kurt finally getting to use the good old Marines and Marauders. Stalkers, Archon, Zealot, Marine, Medevac is a pretty good unit composition. So it does look like they are going to go ahead and all leave the game. It was tons of fun. Yes, this level of play was quite low, but at the same time, I did have a lot of fun in this game. It's fun playing with Kurt just because, honestly, he's really bad, which makes it so much more fun. At least for me. I don't know why I like playing with having an ally that's really bad. It's just kind of, it makes the game more comedic, and it's kind of fun to watch them get better and better at the game. So more StarCraft 2 on the way. Make sure to subscribe to the second channel if you're not. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. A very long time. Kurt especially. Alright, so Kurt is a gamer. He also, as you guys know, produces music and music videos and directs, like, all of his own videos. He edits his own videos. He's basically like Hollywood, all wrapped up into one person, so he doesn't have a whole lot of time to play video games, but the last time he played StarCraft was 31 weeks ago, and we're like, you know, and we decided to play some StarCraft, because that's kind of what we do. So our team is going to be Fuckraft up here. And we also have Huskies, who of course is going to be me, the terrible Protoss. And on the other right side of the map is going to be Cases, our allied Yellow Zerg. And we're also going to have Kurt HS. No, it's not Kurt High School, which would be an awesome high school to go to. It is Kurt Hugo. Hello everyone, this is HCSK here, back with some more StarCraft 2 action. This one is going to be for my second channel, as you probably know, because you're watching it here on the second channel. But it is a 4 versus 4 ladder game, and I was actually playing this game with my good friend KurtHugoSchneider, also known as the guy who basically makes all the Nerd Alert songs. And he came over to help write the next Nerd Alert song, Schneider himself. And let's go ahead and introduce our opponents. It is going to be Creamies, Rich, Klim, not quite sure what that is, and Juckrin as our opponent. So it is going to be a Zerg Terran Protoss versus a Zerg Terran Protoss. So yeah, we haven't played in a what? Let's go tear up the 4v4 ladder. So Kurt at this point is probably playing at bronze level, let's be honest, but we love him anyways, and it's going to make the game a whole lot more fun. And actually, Kurt improved very quickly at the game, and I want to explain how we were doing that. Number one, I was letting him get crushed on the unranked Heart of the Swarm ladder a little bit, which you can just join in. If you lose, you just leave and join another game.